What is the first step in managing stress? As someone in the past who has felt like stress has almost overwhelmed me and I couldn't find a way to overcome it, this video will show you the first step to overcoming that insurmountable feeling. That feeling that you'll never beat this stress. Because with stress, it can feel like this huge thing, but you just need to take the first step and the second step to be able to get over it. So with that being said, I plan to show you how to think about stress, my go-tos, and then a little bit of a tip at the end that's really important related to stress that at least has really worked for me. So with that being said, I promise you by the end of this video, you will understand the first step to managing stress. So the first step in the way to think about stress is to ask yourself, what are you avoiding doing, or what needs to be done? Because for me, with stress, it manifests in that way. It's always me realizing, oh my gosh, why am I avoiding this thing? So for example, let's say you wanted to change jobs because you hate your job, but your job's comfortable. Maybe it pays you a really good salary, you're comfortable there, but you know your dreams 5-10 years ago was to do something completely different and you hate what you're doing, so you're stressed today. Well, that's probably a symptom of you avoiding what you know you need to do. You know you need to make the transition to take full advantage of the life that you've been gifted, and so you feel stressed about it. That's an example of avoidance. Or maybe things need to be done. Maybe you have a really busy day ahead of you full of meetings or full of events that have to be taken care of, and you just need that extra energy boost. And that's like the way I like to think about stress in that example. I would say in our life, 75% of the problems are avoidance and stress-based, and the other 25% are just things that need to be done. And with the things that need to be done, I recognize stress as just a boost in energy for me. And for the 75%, I like to think of stress as an indicator of importance. So I don't judge myself because I feel stressed. I think a lot of people run into some struggles because they judge themselves. So like, why am I so stressed? I shouldn't feel this way. I have all these things. I shouldn't be stressed. But stress is completely normal because I truly believe it's an indication of importance and it's an energy boost when we need it. Now, chronic stress interferes with bodily function and affects you when you can't sleep and stuff like that. That is bad stress. But stress outside of that, I don't think is bad. Indication of importance and that little boost of energy you may need. So I wouldn't judge yourself if you're stressed. It's okay to not be happy all the time. I think in our modern day society, a lot of us think that, oh my gosh, I don't feel happy at this present moment. Why do I not feel this way? And we start to judge ourselves. But it's totally normal to feel angry, sad, stressed. All of those emotions are totally normal to feel. It's just how you see them. So I'd encourage you to not judge yourself if you feel stressed, and that it can be the first step to managing it. So in this step, ask yourself, what are you avoiding or what needs to be done? And then also look at, are you judging yourself about how you feel? Now, on top of what are you avoiding and what needs to be done, ask yourself and recognize what is making you stressed. Just sometimes nailing down the problem can be the first step to understanding why you're stressed, because you may just be in a go, go, go cycle, and then when you first sit down, you're like, oh my gosh, I am so stressed. Why? Well, ask yourself, and that's where I encourage you to take the balance of the description below, because there it'll show your professional, your relationships, your health, and your resources, and those are really good areas to look at if you're stressed. But wait till the end of the video, because we got 2 more good points, those being my go-tos and prevention. So, my go-tos with stress is the first thing is once you've identified and you realize, are you avoiding it? Are you judging yourself? Once you've kind of got that in your forefront, I would ask yourself, just do the thing. That might be the go-to, is to just do the thing that you know you need to. And if it's not an easy fix, if it's not just a thing where you just need to check off and do it or whatever, then I have a few other go-tos I like to do, those being the gym. The gym is always really helpful for me to not get stressed out about things. It allows me to get in there, get my emotions out, and allow me to really have some me time to maybe reflect on some of that stress I'm feeling. So I really like the gym. On top of the gym, I like an ice bath. And the reason I like an ice bath is because number one, it physically stresses the hell out of me. The water never gets warmer, so when I'm about to get in there, I am always physically stressed. And on top of, I know that I'm gonna be so cold, I'm a little bit mentally stressed. And I think that actually be a really good thing, because when we get that physical stress, that kind of take away some of our mental stress. So once I get in that bath, I've controlled my breathing, I tend to feel a lot better about what's going on. I tend to feel really empowered with myself and with my ability with whatever I'm gonna take on, because I was able to overcome this mental challenge that is always a mental challenge of getting in that cold water. Once I'm through it, I tend to feel physically better and mentally better due to the ice bath and that breathing. So those are my go-tos when it comes to the first step of managing stress. And the third and final step that I think is crucial in the first step of managing stress is prevention instead of reaction. If we can focus on ways to just prevent our stress from happening and not just react to it, that can be really helpful. Now, obviously, as I said earlier, stress is totally normal, so you're gonna feel stress. But how can you at least prevent it and alleviate it so you don't feel it all the time? And so what I would ask you is, when you're thinking about prevention, is what systems do you need to have in place to make sure you prevent that stress? For me, with these YouTube videos, it's usually getting ahead of them, recording them ahead of time so that I can prevent the stress of having to record a lot at once. But sometimes it's that good energy boost I need. So with that being said, asking yourself what systems you need to have in place, whether that's trackers. I like to use a sticky note for me, that's really helpful. I like to use quarterly objectives as trackers. I like to use the Notes app as trackers and reminders. Those are some systems that I like to employ that really help me with my stress. So for you, maybe you want to get into the gym and you've been stressed that you haven't been. A really easy reminder system that you can employ is to set out your clothes the day before, because then it's really easy. It makes it easy to take action on the changes you want to make. So that's how you should think about systems, is what systems can I use to make it as easy as possible to take the action I need to take to make the change I want to make. So ask yourself that question with your systems. Now, on top of prevention is, what hard conversations need to be had? Sometimes with stress, you just need to have that really hard conversation. Maybe it's in your relationship. There's some things that have been stressing you out for a long time, and you know that hard conversation needs to be had. Maybe it's with your boss or your manager, that you know that there's a hard conversation that you've been delaying, but you'll feel so much better after. And maybe, just maybe, the hard conversation is with yourself. Maybe you're not being honest with yourself about why you're stressed or what's going on. And I promise you, if you have these hard conversations up front, it'll prevent a lot of stress on the back end. So with that being said, I'd encourage you to take the balance wheel now in the description below, because again, that can highlight what you're stressed with. Are you avoiding it? Are you judging yourself about it? It can be really good to kind of highlight those things for yourself. And on top of that, if you like the video, go ahead and like and subscribe. It tells me to make more, and even better, if you really want me to make more, leave a comment, because I could see exactly what you guys are saying. Hope you guys are doing well. I'll see you guys in the next one.